G'day everybody, and welcome to more Assertive combat systems. Because I need to remember that it's not just cargo ships now. However, today is probably going to be mostly cargo ships. I think in the last stream, I was up to this one. This pretty ship here. And my hope for the remainder of this stream is to get the rest of these done, so they can all be integrated into the mod and I can move on to the next 10. Because I've got like 100 or something more to go. But still, that's okay. Because it's good. The more ships I have available to add to the mod, the more variety we'll eventually get. And the better the mod will be. And the bigger. It's actually already a reasonably large download considering most of it's not textures. Although I think that's mostly the audio files. And thanks Nadimir and Rekka. So, the cargo box was good. I think I checked all of the checklist stuff for it last time. Pav's also helped me add a few extra things to the checklist and clean it up a little bit. So hopefully that's going to be okay. And this one should be good from memory from last time. I don't think I got around to fixing the guns on the, what's this one called? WHI Cargo Transport. And 1 second. Just a few people in chat saying that the stream is a bit funny, so just hit refresh and it should be good. Right, I think this thing needs more guns. I've managed to get it down to just the one large, the two large ion thrusters, I think, and ditched the two on the side and the one on top. Oh, that's right. That's what was at the end. At the end, I was trying to figure out what looked best up here in this little tail section. I've still got the... Okay, so I've got two. One forward, one lifting. I think I could probably get rid of that one. Ditch it down to 3 smaller ones as well to reduce the massive load of platinum you'd get from this. Sure. Let's do that first. So I think I need more guns and this reduced. One of the things that happened, and I can't remember what ship it, like at what point it was that I said it. A lot of people realized that because I said 4,000 PCU, if they used large thrusters, they were able to get under the PCU while still having enough thrust to move. However, that created an awkward problem for me because that meant that the resources you get from these ships, if they've got large thrusters, is massive compared to having an amount of small thrusters that can still move the ship, just not move it very quickly. So it's always a bit weird. Oh, I did. I hid the decoy in there, so maybe I could leave. That's right. I was going to leave this one because of the decoy. That is right. Thank you. Thanks, Eisen. I had forgotten that. Cool. So this has 2 turrets on top. Can't see any on the sides. And... don't see any little hidden ones either. There's just this other one underneath. Do I have any interior ones? I think I put that one... There's that hidden one down here. Or is that the other end? Oh no, there's the one up here. And... this one here. Yeah. I might need some lateral ones. Thanks, Matcha. I hope I don't kill a miner this stream. Oh, why does everything I love in Escape from Purgatory have to die? It's not fair. I wonder how this is going to look if I pop that there. Kind of looks okay. And we'll add a fair bit of firepower to any attack from above or below. Unless you attack from a pretty good angle to like there, so that the two little winglets block you. When will the episodes of Escape from Purgatory catch up to the current update? There would be, I think, just one more. I think we're only one recording ahead at the moment. Oh, there's another tail one here too. Okay. That's probably the only spot I can stick a small turret. That'll do. I think if I add any more to this, it'll just be getting silly. It'll be getting cockroachish. Yeah, we'd gotten quite a long way ahead on Escape from Purgatory initially, but thanks to the move, it's now pretty much back at just a week ahead. Hopefully another recording, hopefully we'll get a recording that's, you know, a couple of episodes worth, but to try and line up times for Kanajashi, Kapak and I, now that we're on daylight savings and off daylight savings and things like that, is a bit more challenging. So getting long recording sessions is a bit more difficult. But as long as we keep ahead, it's okay. Oh yeah, Matcha, I should have done that. Yes, the thing rolling down the hill was from Kanajashi's point of view, the final shot that I put in. I showed all three perspectives at the end there, because I thought it'd be funny. Cool, we got ammo and everything. Go in and fix up those interior turrets so they've got shorter range. So, the reason that the miner that I had in that last episode rolled is, yes, technically it had because of the narrow wheelbase. However, I wouldn't have been in a position where it was going to roll had the server lag not been a problem. Because that miner was intended to have 10 wheels, it would have had enough friction and enough strength that I would have been able to just drive down the hill straight. But because the server lag was causing the wheels to clip into the body, that meant that I had to get rid of some of the wheels so that I could even move at all. By doing that, it meant I couldn't go straight down the hill because then I wouldn't have been able to stop and I would have just gone smack into the shuttle harder than I did. So I tried to angle down the hill and I angled just a little bit too far and then rolled. No, the skid wheel script wouldn't have helped, Dyson. The issue was actually vertical movement, not the wheels clipping into each other. Well, it was wheels clipping into everything, so it was just having that many subgrids near each other on a server that was struggling that hard. Like, sim speed when we did that recording was varying between 0.4 and 0.75. It never got above that. So it was just, I was fighting the lag so hard that having anything that needs a little bit more performance to behave well was just not going to work. So yeah, I'm too used to playing as host. So I build things that work in single player and just really don't work with, 250 ping and a server sim speed that's low. But, I'm slowly learning. Slowly learning. All right. I'd say this ship is done. Now, let's check the checklist. Remote control, antenna, let's check those. Control panel, remote. It does not have a remote control. That's interesting. So I accidentally get rid of it and not replace it. Seems like a thing I'd do. Yeah, Andy, exactly. It's super hard to adapt and change the way you do things when you're so used to things just working for you because you're the host and your computer can handle it. Okay. One remote control block. Antenna. Is there an antenna on this? Or is there just a beacon? I think there might just be a beacon. Right. So another thing that changed in the submission rules was that I added that we needed to have antenna on stuff, which was a late addition, and is because I like to have stuff communicate with the player in a way that makes some sense. And the only real way to do that is to have an antenna on the ship so that they can broadcast those messages to you guys. Was that backwards, Sizen? Was I at the back of the ship? Whoops. I was too. Thank you. Oopsie. Oops. Should be that way. There we go. Now where to put an antenna? It needs to go lengthways. So putting it anywhere else is going to just ruin the lines of the ship. I could potentially put it in here. Is that how long? What's that running into? Oh, is that just clipping into that? Oh, and that one. I think I could leave that in there. Yeah, I think that works. I wonder if we'll ever get a DLC or other update with smaller large grid antenna. Yeah, Ugoth, this is one of... Oh, I'm having a mental blank again. I did this last time when I was trying to think of who this ship is. If you look up WHI on the workshop, you'll find a whole bunch of ships with this similar color scheme, but really nice design elements like these bands down the side that slowly get closer to each other, so they makes it look like it's stretched and moving quickly and that sort of thing. Just really, really nicely designed ships. Especially the industrial stuff. Okay, next checklist item. We've got ammo in the guns. Random minor loot. I'll need to check that. And then lighting. Can I put anything in here? Only if I'm inside it. That'll do. Thanks, Fortis Draco. Funky Bacon. Yes, thank you, Eisen. Yeah, Funky Bacon made this ship. And Funky Bacon has got some incredibly cool builds on the workshop. Including a goose-like build with a rover with a mining drone sitting on it. That's really, really nice. That he's got a few different variations on. Oh, yeah, there we go. Got some space credits in this. I'm gonna put... I'm trying to think what I can put in these cargo containers that, you know, is a little bit weird. Or a little... without it being quite heavy and ultimately actually useful. Thanks, DB1066. There we go. Alright, next item on the list, check lighting. Okay. I think this one's reasonably well set up from that point of view. Though I might want to put... yeah, it's all blue and cold lighting. Yeah. Well, the interior lighting works. Do I want to put some exterior lights on this thing? I kind of do. ACS LCD. Oh. Yeah. Have I got that in this save? I don't know if I do. I do. So I've added this image to the mod now. So I can put it on a bunch of the different ships. I don't know that that logo would work so well on this ship, because it's blue. I'd need a yellow version. I'm not going to make multiple versions. That's just getting a bit much. Those two are the best spots because you've already got the line from the armor edge there. Although, oh, dang it. So that might... Nah. Go back to what I had. What I was thinking for these lights was actually going pretty high radius, reducing the intensity a little bit, but then yellowing them quite a bit. Oh, if only we had diagonal neons. Because, yeah, it would look pretty cool with having neons running up there. And I think I'll also put a light at the tail here. Just so that this is a little bit lit up when you're playing in the dark. Because while I can see a fair bit at the moment, that's because I've got vanilla lighting here. If I was playing on anything with, you know, Space Just Got Real, Green Gunk Be Gone, any of those sorts of mods, this would be next to pitch dark with just the little blue lights. And I think you'd lose so much of the coolness of this ship not being able to see those extra details. At least a little bit of it. That'll do. Check grid name and then close the doors. There are no doors to close. So grid name. Info. NPC-ACS. Okay. There's already blue lights on the inside, and the trouble, I've got a few people suggesting that I put some lights for backing behind the ribbing. The trouble with that is then on the inside you see a lot of that light, and it'd kind of ruin this feel. And this kind of blue, cold, sterile, or slightly run down feeling, I think, is really nice. And yeah, there's lots of half blocks in places, so there's a lot of places where you can't put any lights. Like on these little winglets. It'd be pretty difficult to find a spot, I think. Yeah, no, you can't even put them there. But yeah. I think that one is good. So, Control C, F11, export. I can't remember if I did these ones. Let me just check. I've got the spawn group. I'll have Bison. Nope. Suppose I can run through the checklist quickly on it and get these done. Build checklist. Remote control. Do I have one? Info. Info is right. Remote control, it has one. Guns at adequate range. And idle movement off. Yes. Inventory. Turret. All guns have ammo. Random minor loot. I can see some stuff in some spots. Yep. So we've got a few bits and pieces around the place. Lighting. This one's atmospheric and it's got two big spots. So I'm kind of okay with that. Do I have a space in here? Yeah, I do. Yes. Where's a decoy? There we are. Just put that right next to the lifting thruster. I feel like this could maybe do with some exterior lighting upgrades. But I think it's so thin, it'll do a lot of extra lighting on the inside. Ooh, that's actually something I should check. Oh no, the lighting looked fine. Looked fine when I had these. Yeah, because I did walk through the middle after I put those yellow lights down. So yeah, yes, as is being mentioned in the chat, you can create you can play the scenarios all in multiplayer and add mods and things just by saving and reloading them. There was a brief period of time where you couldn't do that. You actually had to modify a setting in the sandbox.sbc, but they've gone back to you being able to easily just save it. When you go to the load menu, add mods. Done. Which is nice. Because I was about to make a tutorial on it, and then I went to test it, and I realized it was all working, and I was like, oh, guess I'm not making that tutorial today. Because it all just works. Thanks, Ruro Bob. Hopefully that's not too far off the mark for about how you normally pronounce your name. Yeah. I'm good with this. So this has the right grid name. This has random minor loot, check lighting, check grid name, close the doors. All right. Check lighting. Grid name. Bison. Ooh. Need to check. Do I have a... Oh, I do have a bison that was exported last time. I made some changes though, so I'll get rid of it. Then Explorer will hate me for some reason. Okay. Yeah, I got it right. Whoa. Tregnon, thanks so much for the 20 gift subs. You continue to be a crazy, crazy man, and we love you for it. 1,417 gift subs. That is truly nuts, Dragnon. Prefab name is... Oh, close the doors. That's what I wanted to check. Doors. Closed, 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 closed. Good. Control C, F11, export. All right. Now, I have exported the cargo box, but I think I did it before I added the LCD image. So let's get rid of the... let me bring this across. So this is what I'm looking at. This is my export folder. Let's get rid of the cargo box. The NAT is already there. And let's add this image. Thanks, Mr. Tin Man. Gift subs? Oh, that's right. Totally legal botanical garden. Let's change that. ACS wide. And there we go. I think because of the blue and white, this just kind of works for this one. F11. Export. Cool. So the cargo box is done. The Nat is done. The Bison is done. The WHI cargo transport is done. Now, let's bring some sunlight back. And we'll move on to this one. So, originally this ship looked like this. What was this ship called? This is the Quasimodo Mark 1. Which is kind of a nice design. I like the asymmetry of it. I like the fact that they included a thruster, but got rid of... Where's my grinder? But they got rid of all of the thruster components from it, or pretty much. So it's got the obvious part, but they've gotten rid of it so that it doesn't add the extra loot, which is really something I might need to consider doing more on these things. So instead of getting rid of all the thrusters and changing them out for smalls, maybe I just make the thing semi-constructed. And it adds to the feel of this being like a solo trader or a small family trader. They've gradually built up and added and tacked on extra stuff. They've added more hydrogen so they can go on longer trips, that sort of thing. They've started to become a fuel hauler, so they've added even more. And I think it's a really nice ship. However, that's a lot of hydrogen tanks. Like, silly, huge. Probably a bit much for ACS. Because I feel like I'd have to coat this with guns to make it enough of a challenge. So, shrunken a little bit. And with some fake tanks. So it doesn't have quite so much. But it still, to me, feels very much the same. In fact, even leans more heavily into that this is a progressively expanded upon ship feel. And this one... So obviously I've been doing some work on these outside of the streams, just so I can try and get on top of the massive list of things to do. I think this one's, yeah. Entry is at the back. So we walk through here, we've got, you know, some storage down the sides. I might want to respray those grey, actually. They're pretty dark. Yeah, that's a bit better. Unfortunately, there's no light down here, which is going to need to be fixed, as that's one of the checklists. For a second I thought you said fake tan instead of fake tanks. Yes. The family with the new upgrade with the fake tan. This was all red in the original, but now it's got a lot more stuff. In fact, do these need to be red, or did I accidentally paint them when I was doing other stuff? That was a bit too much red. Ooh, hang on. Let's get something that's a bit brighter. Yeah, do the lower bit a little bit different. So the floor has to be red because that's the exterior. Is that too much colour? I'm kind of okay with it, I think. Oh, especially with these lines, the white lines on the sci-fi interior wall blocks. Yeah, I could go sci-fi, Maybe just on the... the trouble with sci-fi or the retro one, is it makes the whole thing silvery. And it's a little too silvery for my tastes. What I'd really like is if the kitchen had the same top as the bar. So it had the kind of metallic stainless steel top, but it doesn't. So it kind of had a different colored top to fascia, so you could color one independently. Oh well. Yeah, these are the new bits from the latest profits. We've got a bathroom. Did I just make a whole wall funny colored? Yes, I did. Need to go back. Yep. These upgrades were done before the new passageway blocks. Do I want to try the new ones? Suppose we can have a look. I've got to admit, I like the look of the new passageway blocks, but I'm not sure they're consistent with the rest of the design in Space Engineers. I'm not sure they work well enough with what we already had. But I do like that we've now got a functional block that has a light, like a style block that has a light. Like if you put this beside some of the decorative blocks, it works. You put it beside a thruster like this though, and there's kind of too much detail. Thanks, Glitch. The light is a light. It is a modifiable light. Passage 3 light. What's the radius on this thing? It's the same as a corner light, not an interior light. Too much detail. Who are you? What have you done to Splitsy? Yeah. Okay, that's a fair point, but there's more. I don't know. It just feels like it doesn't quite match. It feels like it works really well in industrial settings. Is actually probably more what I'm thinking. This would work really well in areas around a refinery and other places where you've got lots of cargo ports exposed because of the yellow handrails. But in a ship interior like this where it's a bit more upscale, it just doesn't seem to quite sit right. Yeah, agreed, Gruz. They have been heading this way since Wasteland. I actually think this is going to look better with that one. And it opens it up a bit more too. Yeah, Beer Seeker, they each update does seem to match less and less with the old stuff. Alright, I'm happy with the overall shape and what's the ACU? Bit over. That's okay, that's what happens when I start greebling things. We do tend to go a little bit over. Ooh. I think this one's going to have to be replaced. This passage here is going to need to be replaced with the lighted one. I think that's going to be a nice spot for one. What? Oh, what are you doing to me, game? Why won't you let me place it? What have I detached? I think I've detached whatever was above it. Right. That's a problem. How am I going to get above it? The next update will be throw pillows and duvets. Oh man. As silly as it is, I would totally mess around with throw pillows and rugs and other things. I think there was a gyroscope up here. Certainly looked like the underside of a gyro when I looked at it. Okay. We need throw pillows so we can make a launcher for them. Right. Checklist. Let's go back to it. What do I need to do? Check that it has a remote control. Yes, it has a remote control. Check that it has an antenna with adequate range. This has an antenna down the side here. It is not named. What is this ship called? It's the Quasimodo. Why you do this to me, game? Quasimodo, let's put that out to 10Ks. Then check guns at adequate range and idle movement off. So what guns have we got? Got one facing rearward, upward, rightward, with a second interior turret rightward, another interior leftward, left big gun, and then minimal from underneath, and none if you can get close enough, but you do have to get past a lot of guns that can look downward if you try to get there. So that's okay. Alright, we've got enough guns. Control panel, turret. Idle movement off. Let's max the range, because I don't think I saw any internal ones. And let's see if I can fit some sort of interior turret somewhere, or if it's just going to be in the living space and therefore weird. Yeah, really I can only put one here, which I can't do because there's an interior plate there. No, that's on a bed. Yeah. Uh-oh. What did I just get rid of? I feel like I got rid of another interior wall. Another catwalk plate, I mean. Meh, looks fine. She'll be right. There should be a data pad in there somewhere. The bells, a beginner's guide to tinnitus. Sure, let's do that. I have a bunch of data pads somewhere. They're blank, I think. And if not, let's just make one. Has anyone got any idea of what to put in the content for this? All right. There we go. Step 1, ring bell. Step 2, repeat. Let's just put it all in. Ooh, actually, better idea. Let's copy that. There we go. Now we got 2 of them. Let's put them in the beds. Yeah. Okay, sidetracked. Internal gun. Oh. Don't mind me while I choke. Be fine. Auto movement off. Let's give it some ammo. No, there's 3 hot beds. There are 3 beds, and they can be hot switched. And then these people have just got their life's belongings stored in the place. Okay, that's good. Let's close the bathroom door. Close the cockpit door. No point closing those yet because I need to do the lighting in a second. Ammo in guns. Right, so only the one gun has ammo so far. Doo-be-doo. No smoothies at the office. I have started bringing some up and goes here though, which are like pre-made protein milk thing. Where's the Gatling turret I missed? Is it this one? Yes. Alright, so now the turrets all have ammo. Yes, MPTGL, the builds are all community builds that I've updated and altered and done things to make them suit the mod in the way that I wanted them to. Yeah, I increased the range on all of them. That's good. Random minor loot. I just need to throw a few things in all of the little cargo spots. So let's go. Put a couple of med kits in there. Put a drill in there. Put another drill and a grinder there. Just throwing a few things around the place so that it's not all empty. It always feels so dull if I leave all these things too empty. These, let's get $624 dues. And then we'll put a couple of power kits up there. And as always, the pilot gets some drinks, which in this case we're going to go some Cosmic Cola. Here. Turn off my lights, put the sun behind the planet. Let's set up this lighting properly, because we have a number of interior lights that are making everything quite flat in here. Yes, Eisen, butchered with permission. Okay. I've got those two lights. I don't need this light up here. Copy those settings. That's probably a little too dark. Basically, one of the things I've started to like doing is making it clear when you're walking around these spaces that your headlights are brighter than the ambient, so that you know that you've still got your headlights on. That is Build Vision, the Build Vision mod. That's how I access all this stuff, and there's a really cool function that was added to it last year sometime, where you can copy and paste settings from one block to another, which is awesome for messing with lighting. Alright, that's okay. Bathroom's alright. Now this side, gotta expand this out until it hits that cockpit. In fact, now that I've done this, now that I got rid of that block that was up there, I might be able to... What? Wait a second. Nope, I didn't. Thought for a second I might have gotten rid of the roof. But I think... Yeah. This glass is on this block, which I can change. What the... This is double glass? I am so confused. Why is it double glass? Haha. Now I can put a light here. I was thinking if I put a light there and then get rid of this one. Not the block! Why you do that to me, game? And then grab these two and expand them from there. I think the lighting will be a bit more interesting. I think for that other room, having the interior lights is really quite helpful because it's quite a large room and there's a lot of detail around the outside which wouldn't allow me to put lights where I need them. So throwing them all from just these two in the middle makes a lot of sense. But for this room, we can do something with a bit more interest. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, this ship would be fun on exploding hydrogen tank servers. Just to make it twice as expensive when the glass gets shot. Alright. Let's close this door because that's done. Then this light. Those of you who've been watching these streams for a while would realize that I like having non-white light on my lights. So that's why these are slightly reddish. Because I think it adds a lot to the feel of a place using non-white light. I think we might need to... Nope, we can't. That's it. The stairs are as they are. We got a pair of lights at the back there and a few around the outside. What colour could I make them? Could try and make them the greenish colour of those hydrogen tanks. See how that looks. Yeah, it's not too far off tungsten, Demonworks. Thanks, Kyber. So greenish. That means let's cut down the red, cut down the blue, increase the radius. That looks weird. Not going to do that. Don't like it. Let's go quite yellow. And reduced intensity. Quite like these yellow exterior lights. Especially since you're then contrasting them against the blue of the ions. Yeah. I think that'll work. Let's just check that I haven't totally messed up the interior lighting. This all looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that space and happy with this space. Oh, there's a light there that I didn't fix. Interesting. It's kind of interesting looking through and seeing the glass through to there, but not any access way. Oh well. So that's check the lighting, check the grid name. And I have closed the doors. Grid name info. BC-ACS. I like this being capitalized. Okay. That is another ship ready to go. Which I quite like the look of, actually. F11, export clipboard to file. And we have another one done. Binary Duck, there's a link to the server info in the video descriptions, where you can find out all that sort of info. Alrighty. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go. Cool. Need to speed this up, Splitsy. Come on. So with this next ship, the Sojourner, if you have a look at the rear of the original, there are 2 large ions. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, trying to cut down on ions, so narrower. But I feel like this new smaller version still keeps a lot of the, for want of a better term, DNA that the design DNA of the original ship. Thanks, XE6. Yeah, the high-vis tanks really do pop against that red, don't they? And then the interior's all done up. Though, we'll need to sort out the lighting. This one's a bit more of a crisp interior, which I quite like having as a different setup from time to time. I'm not sure about this turret on the glass. I might get rid of that, actually. I think I might put it on here. I prefer... Something just feels odd about sticking turrets on glass. I don't know what I was doing then. So we got a bed on each side. We've got our cockpits. And we've got a fairly minimalist interior, but I think it works. We've even managed to get double airlock in on this ship with a PCU of 3,187. So it's just got the one large ion. It's got a pair in each direction otherwise, I think. Pair, yeah. And it's got its antenna underneath, which I need to rename to the Sojourner. And increase the range of. Yes, I did put ammo on the inside gun of the last ship, but let me just make absolutely sure. Yep. It would have taken a hell of a lot of spit to get the suction cup on that turret going. Oh man. During Capac and I cleaning up our last place before we moved out, noticed that there was a dent in the fridge and was trying to use one of those suction cup things to pull the dent out of the fridge. It did not work, but I definitely used a little bit of moisture from the tap to try and get it to really stick on there. Anyway, Sojourner. Checklist. Remote control, antenna, range, and name. So remote control, have we got one? Yes. Guns at adequate range and idle movement off. No. Alright. Guns at adequate range, idle movement off. Oh, thanks for the gift subs, XE6. Hey D, how's it going? I did not try the hot glue trick, Dragon. I didn't have any hot glue and I don't have a hot glue gun. So it was just going to be a bit too much. I did try heating it to see if it would expand and pop out. I did try heating it and then rapidly cooling it with a can of compressed air held upside down. That didn't work. So yeah. Whoa. Mackle. Thanks for the 20 gift subs, man. Oh. Thanks, man. I'm glad you're having fun on the Draconis server, even if you're struggling to move around at anything above 30 meters a second, which is pretty much about as fast as I mostly dare to go until I stop paying attention, then realize I'm at 60 meters a second. All right, so need to set that gun range on the interior turret and then put ammo and everything. Ammo. One gun there. 2 guns on top, which I think is fine. Oh, that's not fine. That's better. Some of you will be very glad I just did that. I don't know how the dent got in the fridge. I really don't know. But unfortunately the fridge was included as part of the rental, so therefore it's supposed to be kept looked after. Still waiting to find out if I'm getting my bond back in its entirety. But at least the very day after we handed the keys back, the owner went in and ripped out all the carpets, so not going to be pinged for any carpet damage. That's something. And yes, the dog that ate the door trim, we repaired the door trim, sanded it back, puttied it all up, repainted the whole door trim, and it actually looked pretty good. Okay. So now, turret. All done. Haven't heard, DE. Don't know the answer yet. Hopefully we'll find out about the bond this week or something. I can't remember how long that typically takes where we live. It's been a long time since I moved out of a place and I just really can't remember. And let's grab... Yeah. Put a little novel in there. Put some cash in here. Might put a medkit in with the cash. Yeah, Eisen. If they make you pay, make sure you take the fridge with you. I do wonder if I could do that. I'm not sure I'd have use for that fridge, but I might be able to sell them on eBay for some money. Side note, I kind of like this button panel in front of a programmable block thing. The thing is, the fridge is over 10 years old. I called up the manufacturer of the fridge to find out about the price for a new door, because apparently you can't really repair the door, you have to just replace the whole door. They haven't made that door in over 10 years. So, I don't think I can be charged very much for it, if I get charged for it. Okay, I need some lights in here. What What should I do? I think I might do this style. That suits here. Need to hide the sun so I can see what's going on. This one I might give a teensy little bit of blue to, because it's quite a clean ship. Let's try a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, the variability on what you're going to get charged for rental damage and things like that is quite broad, even within the same country. So it varies a fair bit, even just within each state and the rules in Australia, and then between each landlord. Some are really chill about stuff, some try and milk you for every single cent. You just never know. I'm tempted to put a pair of lights like that, just so I can get a bit of extra lighting for the kitchen. Bring that back to there. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, I'm on board with this. Okay. So we've done our lighting. But there's... like, it's not something I'm stressed about. We damaged the fridge. I'll see what happens. But yeah, that's... it was just the suction cup comment that made me think about it. Need some random minor loot in here, which I think I've done. And then check the lighting and the grid name. Yeah, I've done the loot. Yeah. Let's add a welder. And then the grid name. Doors are all shut. That's not how you spell door. What? What have the doors been renamed to? Doors are hidden. Doors are all closed. That is correct. We will have info. In New South Wales, where I live, there is something you can do if your landlord is taking advantage of you, for want of a better term, with your bond, because the bond actually goes to the it's like the rental board or something. You can dispute it with them, and whatever decision they make is final. So there's inexpensive legal challenges that can be made by renters. Generally speaking, the legal framework around this stuff in New South Wales and in Australia in general seems to favour the renter, not the landlord. At least for residential stuff. Cool. We have a Sojourner. I can export it. Let's bring some sunlight back. Now, the next ship I'm going to leave till last today. Actually, the next two ships I'm going to leave till last. Because they're both drone ones, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with them. Thanks, the Jew, for the tier 2 sub. And thanks, XE6, for the bits as well. Yes. You woke your wife up last night because you're laughing so hard at my rover mishap. Oh, that was painful. Yeah, that sucked. But I'm actually thinking that little miner, I'd like to try and build that in Survival Impossible when I can return to it and see if I can make that design work. I'd really like to see if I could use it on on a game where I'm the local host so that I don't have any lag issues, and then see if I can make it work, because I reckon I can. If I manage to get the Goofy to work, I can totally get that miner to work. And yes, you're right, Maverlight. As soon as I said I hope it lasts more than one day, it was destined to die. So the next ship was actually an automated hauler, but it's huge. Like, this thing is enormous for something that's automated. And I think on the inside of here, there were a whole bunch of warheads and other stuff that I've decided to remove. And keeping the style, it is now a yacht with a missing window. So it's kind of like a pleasure cruiser. With the captain's chair there. Wait. Did I forget to put power on this? That looks off. And then we've got our nice little dining area going down into our sleeping quarters where you can look up and view the stars. All the beds have an exterior window. So this is a whole total revamp of the design, but I think it's still, when you're looking at it from the outside, still very much fits with the original. Yeah, one of those racing boats. The really nice, the thin, sleek ones. Better airflow that way. Yes. Right, so this needs window. Nope, that's not the window. Where have I got the windows? There. There we go, there's our missing window. Oh, thanks, the Jew. I almost want to say that in using more Spanish pronunciation. The who. The soft J looks like it's more fun. The who. Oh, jeez. 10 gift subs from the Jew, then another 5 from Maverlight. You guys are nuts today. Thank you so much. Right. This thing's gonna need some guns. It's gonna need a few extra bits. And apparently it needs power? No, it's got power. Why does this show offline? Why are the LCDs offline? I'm so confused. The seat does seem disconnected from the ship. That is a good observation. I think it might have just been floating there. just happened to be floating in exactly the right spot. Yep, there we go. How do I... How? How? I don't understand how I did that. Yeah, Dan. Hashtag blame Capac. Alright, let's put some stuff in some lockers. Since this is a pleasure cruiser, we're going to have a bit of cash lying around. Nope, not 98,000. It's Soviet Russia. Capac blames you. Yeah, let's put some coffees, some colas. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. There's going to be an elite welder in here. Just one. Just the one. One fancy welder. Oh, awesome, Tommaso. That's just the stuff that's lying around. That's the stuff they don't care about. That's why there's not a huge amount of money. But it's just, they're like, yeah, whatever. Yes. Spicy chicken and cobadge. Yes. Cabbage arugula. I did almost change his nickname in Discord to that. In fact, I possibly could do it before he gets here to do his stream. But then I feel like that's going to escalate to something that I don't really want to escalate to. Sadly, there's no way to put the random gloves and stuff, because if I was able to put in special gloves and guns and things, that would bypass Steam's thing for it to allow who gets what. But you can make things like this ship into unknown signals. I don't know if when they spawn as an unknown signal, if you can then have rival AI take over their control, so you have an unknown signal that actually is a cargo ship. I don't think you can do that, but it would be kind of hilarious if you did. Because Capac would go to an unknown signal and it would then start attacking him. In fact, I think I'm going to have to, on one series at least, replace every single unknown signal with ones that have guns. Yeah, let's put Divine Adonis' adventurous log in the cockpit for this one. Yeah. Now, we need lighting. Which it seems we have quite a lot of. Which I presume is coming from something I placed and expanded and cheated. Because I don't see any lights anywhere. Where is my light? I've got it underneath, don't I? Yes, there are 2 interior lights down here. I'm going to remove those. I'm also going to do this. I'm also going to have to test that this thing flies in Atmo, because it might be too heavy and it may need more thrusters. Right. Now we have... Still light. Where's the light? So confused. There's a light down the front there, which is lighting in here, which I should get rid of. There's still underlighting coming from somewhere. Oh, it's over on the sides. That's where the light's at. Okay. Then we got one on the top. Alright, let's try this again and have a look. You are not missing it, Dragnon. There is no down thrust. Apparently, according to Lucas, I don't need down thrust on these anymore. Because the ships don't utilize the vanilla autopilot at all. No, DE, I'm not using a cough button. I don't have any button to mute anything. I'm just probably leaning the wrong way because I'm still in line with the mic. I should go this way rather than this way. I also thought that there was a chance that RTX voice would clear up the cough. Apparently not. Alrighty, let's get some lights in here. Yeah, that'll do. And then we'll go corner light there. And there. Confuse everyone with the single ones being called doubles, because I've copy pasted the settings. So the down thrust thing, obviously it's needed for space-based things, but for for atmospheric cargo ships, it's supposedly not needed, which is quite cool. I'm still probably going to try and put it on most of the designs though. The reason for that is consistency, I guess. There we go. I want these corners to kind of be a bit dark because they're meant to be a spot where you sit down on the couch and you look out at the stars. Or you look out at the... This won't be stars because it's in a space-based one. Although if I can't fly on the planets with the number of thrusters I've got, I could make this a space-based one really easily. because it does have an airlock. Yeah, I'm just working in space because it's easier for this stuff. Having all the ships pasted in space makes them heaps easier to work on because nothing falls. I don't have to deal with power issues. Everything's just simple. I think what I might do is get rid of those two. That'll get destroyed by the thruster though. Oh, I really want a big gun on the side of this thing, so... Yeah, I think that was how that was. Then pop these in. So if I do that, then I can put a big turret there. Which actually looks weird, doesn't it? Yeah. Fine, I'll do it here. I realize that's going to make that connector really difficult to use, but that's okay. Because it's pretend anyway. That's a pretty heavily armed pleasure yacht. Yes! Yes, it is. It's like, imagine some oligarch from some fairly violent developing country sort of thing. They're going to have all sorts of protections around them. Then instead of going the pair of these up the back... Actually, oh no, we'll go keep with the pair there, and then we'll go to a single in the middle. Actually, this doesn't have that much from the way of good loot. Let's downgrade that. There we go. Russian sub-commander, what I'm talking about in terms of the thrust not being required is part of, because this is building ships for a mod. This is building for the assertive cargo ships, or assertive combat systems is what it's soon to be named, mod. These will all be cargo ships that can spawn in your game and need to modify them so that they can work. And it wasn't too long ago that Lucas changed the ability of these ships so that they don't need to have upwards pointing down thrust. Whereas the vanilla autopilot requires those. Lucas's rival AI autopilot does not, which saves weight, saves PCU, and allows you to design stuff more like a player would, which is using gravity to sink yourself down. Star Dragon, the stream delay that Twitch seems to have from time to time is something local to your end, as far as I can tell, because it happens to some people and not to others. And yeah, most of these ships were submitted before the DLC blocks were released. Like, if you look back in the Assertive Cargo Ships chat here, we're a long way back. Like, that's November 2020, and we're still nowhere near where these ships are at. Yep, still not at them. And we're back November 2019. So it's I've got a long way to go to catch up. Long way. There we go. There we're at. October 2019. No contest, just open submissions for things that meet the criteria that I've set, which is at the pin, which is one of the pinned comments in that thing. All right. Back to getting this finished. Must have remote control. Let's check. Remote control has antenna range and name. The antenna's at the rear. What is this ship called? Spaghetti automated hauler. Gonna have to rename this one, which I don't normally do. It's gonna become the Spaghetti Cruiser. I don't normally rename people's submissions, but given that it's no longer an automated hauler, it makes sense. And need to increase range. Something like that'll do. Then we got our turrets all needing ammo. Gruz, no. The no hydro does not technically need to be a thing, but I'm kind of waiting before I make any changes to what the submission requirements are. And I do still kind of prefer no hydro because fuel issues. But I'm waiting to update anything till Lucas and or Idiot from the Draconis servers can figure out why the Panini sidecar intermittently just doesn't spawn in correctly. And just spawns in and drops out of the sky. Because there is nothing wrong with the grid. I don't know why that particular grid seems to have an issue. And I don't even know if it's that particular grid or if you spam any cargo ship enough, it will eventually crash. Dracua, Survival Impossible is on a break at the moment because I can't really record it in the office. Capac and I have moved out of our shared house. We have a shared office that we can record and stream from, but I can't really do Survival Impossible here. Until I move into my new house, which is getting renovated and currently doesn't have a kitchen, I can't really set up the ability to record Survival Impossible. So at the moment, it's hopefully looking like I'll be able to move in there in June sometime. So until then, no Survival Impossible, which is sad because I really want to play it. And I would want to do the ice miner thing that I was talking about in the last episode, but yeah, it's just got to wait. until that is ready. Yeah, see, I think it's any cargo ship. I don't think it's just the Penny sidecar. It's the most common spawn. It's one of the most common spawns on Purgatory. That's why it's seen. I think any cargo ship will occasionally just not try and keep itself flying. And it's a rare bug, but it's there, and Lucas hasn't been able to figure it out. But yeah, once my new house is ready to go, I will have 2 places to record stuff. I will predominantly be setting up this office where I'm streaming from right now to be for recording or streaming with Capac. And then my home stuff will be set up for editing, for any of the solo streams, any of the solo recordings, that sort of stuff. And anytime we're wanting to do stuff where it might be useful for both of us to have maximum upload bandwidth, then one of us could be at the office, one could be at home, sort of thing. And yeah, Lego builds is what I'm going to do at home, because then all my Lego can be at home. So that'll be something that's coming once that happens. Okay, turrets are done. Ammo, and then I've done some minor loot. Lighting's okay. Then check the grid name and close the doors. And I believe these and the bathroom down there are the only 3 doors on this ship. That bathroom door is shut. And let's close the airlocks. Then, just for this ship in particular, let's see if this flies down on the planet. Get a mini fridge, Velcro and microwave on top of that, and your survival kitchen will be sorted. I guess, technically. There you go. Is flying. Okay. It could probably use some more batteries. I think there might be room for some back here. Oh, I forgot this still had the cargo container in the back. Huh. Oh. Yep, there's room for batteries back here. Cool. How many batteries do I need to add to make this work? If I add another 3, will that be enough? Yep, 3 is plenty. I will test all the other ships. I'm just not doing it just... Uh-oh. Where are all the grids? Entity list. I just figured this one was a high risk one, so I thought I'd check it first. And a lot of these other ones are space ones anyway, so they don't matter. Battery, block. we go. Now it has enough batteries. Copy F11. Export. Spaghetti Cruiser is done, and now we have one more non-automated one, which is this little fella over here. So this submission is one of Eisen's, which he kindly shrunk down for me because the original submission is kind of a bit too big. It's got 16 hydrogen tanks, and it's also got 16 large cargo containers. One of the reasons he made it so big was to generate this particular look in the corridor, which is quite cool, but unfortunately does make this thing just a bit too big for the mod on the whole. So he's made a mini version, which is called a Grub. Which uses the same hull shape, but it's just shrunken down. Which is quite cool. Then we can go inside. And since the DLCs have all been released since his last version, this one now has all the various cargo bits and decorative items and beds and everything in it. And because Eisen is a bit like Capac, I pretty much only have to fix the lighting. Because he believes in doing the put down the lights and that's good enough. Which I feel confident to say because Eisen gives himself stick about exactly that. One of the things I might do with the mod in the future is if I ever close submissions for the current batch of ships, which I might well do sometime in the next couple of months, if I close submissions and then get all these submissions in, what I'm considering is creating a secondary add-on mod which would have some of the larger things in them which would spawn in with their own escort. So they actually spawn with escort there immediately. The thing that made me start thinking about this is, as some of you may know, there is an Assertive bunkers mod, which has the embedded in the voxel structures on planets. And Pav has been working on that. Instead of having it as a separate mod in the new Assertive Combat Systems things, all of the grids will be part of the Assertive Combat Systems mod, but unless you have the bunkers mod on your save as well, those grids just won't spawn. Because there's a thing you can put in this spawn group that if it doesn't have an extra mod there, this just won't be spawned. And the reason to separate the bunkers from the regular mod is that voxel deformations can cause performance issues in the long term, so some people don't want that on their world. But if you want it, it'll be there as an option. And I can also do that with larger PCU ships, because people whose PCs can handle it, they can add that. People who don't want it just don't add that extra mod, and they won't spawn. So there'll be that customization. I'm also contemplating doing that for the installations as well. But we'll see how I feel about that, because I kind of like that that they are integrated as one mod at the moment. But yeah, that is something I've been thinking of. Let's get some ammo in these turrets. Let's turn these turrets around all the same way so I can put ammo in the turrets. Exactly, Galadas. Easy configuration without having to mess with any of the config files. You'll be able to personalize what you want with just a single add this mod or don't add this mod. Which I think is going to be a nice way to make the assertive mods suit each particular style of gameplay that people have. Okay, all the turrets have ammo, max range, idle movement off. I'm tempted just to leave this with just those turrets, even though they're somewhat hidden. I think it could end up being, in a weird way, more difficult because you won't be able to hit those turrets as easily. But in other ways, it's easier because if you approach it from the right direction, you just won't get hit at all. Yep, the turrets will use both types of ammunition. So I've just stuck with this because it's what I had in my inventory from the previous times messing with this save. I'm sure I'll eventually transition over to the new ammo with the new update. But for now, don't need to. Okay, let's go back to my build checklist. Must have remote control. Has remote control. Antenna, range and name, done. Guns at adequate range and idle movement, done. Ammo and guns, done. Random minor loot, and check the lighting. Alright. Start on the inside. Okay, we don't need 4 lights in here. We can instead have 2. I think, yeah, I personally think that the devs have gone the wrong direction with the ammo. The gun should have just controlled how often you have to reload, but we manufacture the same ammo regardless. Having to make different ammo for different weapons just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Especially when they're all using the same rounds, it's just different size magazine. Ow! Drat. It's not the block I wanted to get rid of. Yes, Eisen. I put no lights, he complains. I put lots of lights, he complains. You have to get the Goldilocks number of lights. You should know this. Has to be just right. Oh, come on, give me that light. Give me that light. There we go. Okay. We have interior lighting. Need some random loots. Someone's going to be reading the Book of Tahan. Bed. Since that's one of Eisen's submissions, I'm going to put it in his ship. It's Splitsy, he always complains. Hey, that's just because you guys see me with Capac. I've got to complain. It's Capac. If I didn't complain, he'd worry that I'd... Well, he'd worry. Cool, and... I kind of like that, just with the white light. Especially since you immediately go inside to yellow. And it hides the little bit of yellow that's bleeding out. I think the grub is done. Doors are closed. Let's check the grid name. Okay. Copy. Export. So I've now got Bison, Cargo Box, Nat, Quasimodo, Sojourner, Spaghetti, Grub, Cargo Transport, and the... Oh, I think I missed the Mjolnir when I'd been going through before in some other set. So that's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah. Now we're getting up in the numbers. All right, so we have 2 ships left in this 10. One of which... Morning, Capac. One of which is this little drone here. Which I believe was made by Trekker, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the automated division transports were made by Trekker. So shrunk... Oh, Capac's moving a... a thing. A partition. So this is fairly large and has a lot of turrets. And to bring it kind of more in line with the rest of the stuff, thought I'd shrink it down to this scale. Which still has the same style and still has quite a few guns, but is not quite as heavy. And still has the kind of cool disc-shaped thing on top with the spotlight, which is kind of a defining feature of a few of Trekker's builds of this style. So this one's going to be a bit of a quicker check because there's no interior to mess with. Must have remote control antenna. Where's the antenna? On the front. It's the automated division heavy transport, isn't it? Yeah. Division heavy transport. Yeah, it kind of does look like a tick. Tuckers. Broadcast out to there. And then we'll just turn this other one off. Now the remote control is set to show on HUD, so I know there's a remote control. Let's turn off show on HUD. There's a few timer block things in this, but I don't think they're currently working anymore, and I don't think they're needed because I've got all the added behaviors with Rival AI. Let's just check all the ammo on the turrets. Turrets have ammo. Alright. Turrets have range and idle movement off. I'm not sure what ships you're talking about, Zach Green, but anything that's part of ACS, I'm not publishing to the workshop. The original authors of the ships have published their original versions, but the versions that are modified for ACS will only be in the ACS mod. I will not publish them as separate ships, and I'd ask people to not publish the unmodified versions. If you've gone in and you've changed it up yourself and you've made your own version of it, sure. But if you are just like the exact ship, please don't do that. Check lighting, no. Check grid name, and then there's no doors to close, so this was done. Info. Oh, wait. NPC dash ACS. Okay. That should be it for that one. Copy. Export. And last and least, because I think it is one of the smallest ships here, there's this one, the Automated Division Star Eater. I'm torn on this one. I never said that we couldn't have drills on stuff. Oh, that's right. They're sensor driven. Oh, what was the PCU on this? I think it's fine. A little bit over because I think I might have added a turret or so. I'm kind of tempted just to leave this one as is because it is a bit random, but if I make it a bit of a rarer spawn, I think it'll work. Alright, let's checklist it as is. Because again, this is a drone, so there's not much for me to change. And I know that Trekker's done a couple of cheeky things in here. I just need to check whether there are any scripts active. I don't think they are. I think everything's sensor and timer block done. Yeah. Because I know Trekker's written a few scripts. But nope. It kept to the rules. Exactly. Let's give some loot. Yeah. Star Eater broadcast range. Bring that down a little bit. I need to put it on the antenna name, not on the HUD text, annoyingly. Oh, it's not that annoying. It's just what it is. Remote control, antenna, range and name done. Turrets. Do not have ammo. Kind of want to add an extra pair of turrets on this thing. I think there's just those two. Oh no, there's two interior turrets somewhere. Gotta find them. Where are they? Ah, they're here. Get there. Vitals are off. Rare ore in the drills. Ooh. I could put a little bit in there, I guess. It might move to the cargo container, though, because I think it's piped. If I turn use conveyor system off, it should save it. So let's put a little bit of platinum ore in there. Yeah, that's not being pushed out. Yeah, Sanjay, so that was dismissed immediately due to the extra loot. So the reason that the ACS ships are at a glance realistic, but when you look closer not, is to limit the amount of loot that they provide. And let's put a little bit of gold in here. Silver, whatever. Well, maybe uranium. I'll eventually decide on something. Okay. Check the grid name. So what are you streaming this morning, Kapak? Okay. Kapak's going to be doing more of his space station build this morning. Grid name, done. Check the doors. Done. Control C, F11, export. And we have completed the next 10 ships. Except I now have to go and create spawn groups for each one, but that's fine. I can do that. The other thing I will do, and I might do that next time since I think Kapak wants to... Oh, actually, let's just quickly do it now. What have we got pictures for? Need pictures for everything. Let's see... Yeah, as Eisen points out, the ACS ships also have tweaked engine power, which makes it so they're more capable of flying than they should be. Workshop. Assertive combat systems. Build images. Atmo ships, let's do them first. So I've got these pictures of all of the ships which will be uploaded to the mod. So on the mod page, you'll have pictures of every single ship that's included. So what Atmo ships have we got here? And what pictures have we not taken? All right, haven't done the cargo box. Let's do that. It's blue, so let's put it against the kind of desert sand. I think that's going to be its best angle. And camera, field of view. There we go. Happy snappy of the cargo box. Let's delete that. Next one. Nat is space. And it sounds like Kapak's starting his stream now. Next one's the Sojourner. So this is basically how I go and do these things. we go. Oh, need to zoom that out a bit. Snap that. So this is basically what I'm going to do for each of the ships. I'll take a picture and do all that stuff and get them into my folder. So I've got the ACS logo and the name for every ship so that you can see them all in the thing. Because I feel like it's a nice way of showing off all the work that people have done on their ships so that they're all highlighted in the on the mod page. And it also gives an idea of just how many ships will be in the mod, because there are quite a few. But I reckon I can probably do most of that offline. Same with adding everything to the spawn groups. So I'm going to go and raid a Capac, I think. No, that's not a layering error. That's intentional. All of the names are under the ship. I did it on purpose. Adds a bit of dynamic movement to the thing. So it's all on purpose. But yeah, Capac and I will be back with some co-op streams over on the Zebra Monkeys channel tomorrow. And we'll be back with some more Escape from Purgatory on the weekend. So there's all that and plenty more to come. And we will see you then. Hang around and join Capac for his creative mode build stream that he's doing. Click on the raid. Capac. See you all later.